Hello, folks. It's Jeremy Osterberger. We are here at the Texas, Louisiana Environmental Health and Safety Seminar and Industry Trade Show in Galveston. I am very blessed and fortunate to be standing next to Richard Bass. Richard is Eval HSES Manager at Kuraray America. Richard, thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you for having me.
So, Richard, I probably should start with your role also with the conference. Talk a little bit about what you're doing here this year for the conference.
All right, so this year I'm the chair, so we work with our committee. We have a lot of volunteers, whether they're from my company or other companies that are members of Texas Chemistry Council or even Louisiana Chemistry Alliance. We all come together throughout the year, help bring in all these educational tracks, put together the expo center, but it's really just a volunteer spirit, to be able to give back.
That's right, Richard. Thank you for all you do for industry, and you serve on so many other committees in industry as well. So Richard, I'm going to get into something else you're doing here, which is you're in a session and moderating a session called the People Plan, focused on water bottle recycling. I mean, what sparked this idea, and how does this fit into the bigger picture of your approach to safety and sustainability?
So it was actually this event 2 years ago, walking by the exhibit hall and noticed one of our expo people, actually Coastal Ice and Water, who we all use and we all support, walking by, and they looked and they were talking about this, and I said, man, that makes sense. It just does, because it's all about circularity. It's not just recyclability, it's actually repurposing water bottles and creating new water bottles from them. So one of the issues that we have in our industry and in our really our everything with our life, you don't really know where those recycled bottles go. But with this system, we see it. We get metrics from it. We're able to actually do our, balanced scorecards for, set goals for ourselves, for our site, to be able to recycle and repurpose so many water bottles every year. It's just been an amazing process. And really, I can't give enough credit to the Coastal Ice and Water team for coming up with that. And all I had to do was sign up and say, that looks like a great process. We want to be part of it.
So thanks, Richard. I mean, you've been involved in so many leadership roles, like I mentioned earlier. But have you seen attitudes towards sustainability shift over the years, and where are we now?
Yeah, it's a big difference when we look into the world of chemical manufacturing. We're looking at how it affects down the road. We're looking at the recyclability part of it, but we're also really just focused on making the world a better place, coming up with new products that can help that sustainability, help look at different things where, you have the greenhouse gases that we've been able to reduce. You're looking at different, whether you're making plastic from cornstarch, or like other non-prototypical, chemical, compounds. We're looking at different ways that we can make these plastics that are more sustainable.
Makes total sense, Richard, and we'll continue on with that. As getting people to care about things like recycling, it can be a challenge. I mean, what's worked for you when it comes to motivating people on the front line and getting people engaged in things like recycling or sustainability?
That's the one thing about the change in our workforce. That's happening naturally. It's not just us making that change, but we're seeing it. The younger generations, they care about it. Not that we didn't, but they grow up focused on things like that, and so when you're talking to a group of people, the guys in the plant, you're talking about recycling and stuff, you see a shift where they are empowered about it, they care about it, and they want to be part of it. They want to make the difference. It's not just about leadership trying to do that. It's our workforce wants to make the difference now.
Thank you, Richard, on that. Let's shift back to the conference and the seminars. I mean, a lot of topics on AI, smart safety, and process safety. I mean, what do you hope people walk away with this year at the conference?
Man, I just hope they gain some knowledge. And really, it's not even just the knowledge, but it's the being able to be with your colleagues, where in the future when they're looking at it and they have a question, they're like, man, I remember I met a guy. Let me go find his card. I met a guy at the conference, and be able to have that conversation with them and get ideas and stuff, because in our world, in the EHS world, we share information. And that's one of the unique things about being an EHS professional, is that we are able to share information with each other, because it's about protecting our workforce and protecting our environment.
And after 37 years of this, the conference has proven to serve that purpose for industry. So, Richard, you've been recognized as really a top safety professional, clearly passionate about what you do. You and I see each other 12, 15 times a year at various conferences and events, and a lot of those you're a chairperson or involved in the committees that make it happen. I mean, what's helped guide you as a leader, especially when it comes to driving change on challenging things?
You know, really and truly, it's about being around other people. You know, building those relationships. Because like you said, we see each other about 12 to 15 times a year at these different events. But that's what I would like to see other, especially a young safety professional just starting out, get involved. Get involved, meet new people, you know, build that relationship and be able to have that group that you can count on, that you can reach out to, because that's what it is. If you don't do that, if you just kind of hide in your office and you don't do anything, you don't learn new things. We learn things every day. I learn from new people. You know, people just coming up where they're the ones asking, well, why do we do it that way? I've been learning a lot more lately over the past couple of years than I did probably the first couple of years I started. And I'm learning from all generations and not just the people that I assume are, you know, more those leaders and that people, you know, aspire to be. We're learning people from all walks of our profession.
Well, Richard, we thank you so much for your time here and with BIC Magazine, and we really appreciate everything you do for industry, and thank you so much for developing the content for this year's conference.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you guys for coming.